Andy, growing up, did you ever play a bunch of video games?
Yeah, I mean, who didn't, right?
Did you ever play a game called Dragon Force?
No, I did not. All right. Let's talk. We'll have more than enough time to talk about that.
Yes, we
Um,
will.
but okay, so we're live here. Let's see, a little technical issue there. So back for this is another top eight summer derby 2020. Me and Seth, your friendly neighborhood commentators, have um, I don't know if graciously is the word, but definitely have agreed to commentate on this exciting, fun-filled match of David versus Shawn, deck versus deck. Let me send them a link so
Yeah.
they can start up here. And
I mean, I know for me, this is what happens when I go on Discord when I'm, after taking a couple edibles and David asked me to do something. I say, yeah, sure, that sounds great.
yeah, without thinking of it, right?
Yeah, I just am like, sure. And then you're like, oh, shit, I
It,
just said yes to that.
I can't believe I just did that. Well, whatever. I mean, we're here. What are friends for? It looks like Sean's going to be
Sean,
on the play.
I
And
think he mauled.
oh wow,
Oh,
okay,
God. Is this mind
good.
twisting game over? Oh, that's
Okay,
a.
tone.
So
So I
here's a
got
question.
yeah. Go ahead.
So I don't play the deck much, right? But like the tome is the key, right? Like whoever can resolve tome and like sort of like protect it gets the advantage. So like, is this smart to sort of like throw a tome out there unprotected? I guess it doesn't matter. He doesn't have the disenchant, so
I mean, I guess he might still have it. I don't know. He doesn't. But again, we're both not deck experts, and we have to make it clear to the people watching right now. But I mean, I feel like with
oh
the
my
mind twist. So I guess
god.
wow. So
Do you think he just
I wonder
he
why
had
he
to top
didn't.
deck that, right?
Yeah, he probably you have to mind twist for his turn.
Right.
He must have.
Because he
He
had all that
must have
mana. I mean, he would have been able to mind twist for 5
like for his
on the
entire
play.
hand.
I mean, that's game over.
This
That
might be
literally is would be.
this might be game. What did he get rid of? An abyss and a
And
counterspell. Looks like.
yeah, so like I mean, the abyss is a freebie for David.
All right, this is the second tome. So I got a little, I don't know, in preparation for this match, I came up with some, I don't know, I guess random things to do. I got the little tome count on the bottom here. So little side bets for those of you following at home that want to get some action in. Let's see how many tomes are successfully cast during the whole match. So far, we got two. I think the
Well,
over and
these guys are
under is
both
like eight and a
on
half.
4 tome lists, right?
Yeah,
Because Jeff only has 3, I think, in his list, which is interesting.
right.
Because he's at disadvantage. I mean, I don't know. Like, I have no idea about the how the deck beats the deck.
I think it's
I
just
just assume
sheer
it's the tome.
card advantage.
Right.
Right now, does Sean even have a hand? No,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
got
think
two
so. He's
cards.
got two
Sean's got
cards.
2 cards.
Oh, I see them. Okay, he put them.
Yeah, but he finally got the 4 mana with the Fell War Stone. So I think, yeah. See, so I have to think that David just drew the disenchant, unless he was sandbagging it, thinking that the tome was not active, and so he didn't want to blow it up until it was active. But
Right. But Dave does have two factories, so I mean that. Those are his threats, right? He doesn't
yep,
play. He doesn't play Twister. Wait, who doesn't? Was it him? I can't keep track of all these decks. I think Jeff was the one who doesn't play Twister. I don't know if
Jeff
David
doesn't
does.
play Chaos Orb. I know that much.
I believe that David doesn't play a Twister, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so
Well, isn't Twister's not like a standard in every deck player, correct?
I believe that's true. Yeah.
I know
But so
Spontan,
far,
like
Dave
the
has had answers.
Europeans like it a lot.
Oh, they've also agreed to gentlemen's orb flips, so you won't be seeing any flips here. For those of you wondering why Dave didn't flip. Oh, actually, man, so that's got to be a tome. I wonder if
Yes.
that counts to the tome.
It wasn't cast
It
because it
wasn't.
comes into play as not a tome.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I mean, so here's a question. David has 3 factories out. Do
Mm.
you start attacking? Do you start just putting pressure on him while drawing cards?
I
Oh,
mean, I don't
Jesus.
think so. Wow, 4 factories. I mean, I would be afraid of if those were my only win conditions. I would just play it really conservatively, right?
But
I mean,
does he care if they just get disenchanted? Because that means his tome's living. So he's just going to keep drawing more cards.
yeah, but he already has his 4 factories. Like, how is he gonna
Right, but
win? He can
well,
brain geyser him.
he has recall too, right? Doesn't David have recall?
Yeah, that's true. I guess the
Um,
one thing he's worried about is his swords. Oh yeah, here he comes. All right, so 3. This might be a quick
so
game.
so that's interesting. Why would he? I guess he doesn't care about drawing the cards at this point.
All right, so there's the swords.
It's interesting.
I may have played that more conservatively. Again, I'm not a deck player.
Well,
None of
Shawn
us
has
here.
no cards in hand,
Right.
right? I don't know how many cards. Does David have a hand?
I think he has a couple cards.
Okay.
Not many, definitely though. All
I,
right.
I don't get the being naked. Like that would I think would feel weird to me. Um, well, no, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not having mana up to counter. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
but you have to think that David's in the better position because he has threats and he has the card draw engine
Well,
and he's got
a lot of
mana
times these deck. I
advantage.
mean, the deck doesn't. It's more of like fear, right? That people have of the deck having the counter. I mean, a lot of times they don't have the counter. They only play like
5,
5 counters.
maybe like
David
6 if
runs
they
some.
run power
I
sync.
think David runs a power sync, but but other than that, they generally don't have the counter. I think the key is to put pressure on them early. So, uh, but
I mean, I guess like
so
David
he just
has him
hit a,
down to
he just hit
9.
for 6. So I think the more, I mean, he can't wait. I would probably do the same. I would just keep the pressure up as long as, I mean, the only thing you're afraid of is swords to plowshares because you can't,
Right.
you can't get the factory back.
Oh,
Oh, there's the
mind
mind twist.
twist.
That's game. Fireball and
Fireball.
a regrowth, it looks
Oof.
like.
Now, did Shawn? He had a Felwar Stone, right? And does David have a City of Brass in play? He doesn't, right?
Yeah, I think there's a city underneath that, on on Sean's left side. Is that like a city all the way underneath? I think this might be game. Oh wow,
Wow,
this was a quick game, guys. If you blink, you might miss it.
that was
We are on to game 2. First game to David. These guys have agreed to play for best of 5. I mean, best of 9. I'm kidding. Just best of 5. And so
they will never end.
this is going to go into tomorrow. And yeah, wow.
That
All
was
right.
actually maybe one of the fastest games that didn't result in like a first turn mind twist that I've seen a deck mirror match. Like that was actually like deck aggro.
That's
David
funny
treated
because
us to.
Sean seemed to really have a great opening hand, but Dave managed to come through. I guess he drew those factories early.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. How good is Black Lotus in? Because it's not a stable mana source. So like, is it more of an actual like dead draw in the mirror?
I don't think
Because you're
so. I
basically
think it
just
just
giving
gives
up
you
a card.
it's a broken start. I mean, if you draw it early, it gives you broken starts.
Hmm.
In terms of mind twist, obviously.
Yeah, that's true.
These guys run balance. I think. I don't know. You can
They
balance people
should.
out.
Any deck that plays white should run balance. I strongly feel that way. Even white weenie.
I mean, it gets you a tome like 2 turns earlier, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would imagine you have to play it. But I see what you're saying. In aggro lists, it basically using to cast it for a permanent threat that does
Right.
damage, as opposed to just like a small advantage here.
Hmm. Right. And like that was like you saw like I think Shawn mulled to 6 anyway, so there probably wasn't
I
a
mean,
lot
that
he
was a
could have
good
done.
mull.
It was a great start. But he blanked on that 4th mana source afterwards,
Yeah.
and he couldn't draw that first turn. And then David was able to slow set up and then just buried him in card advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. Like we saw David spend two turns or three turns just attacking with factories and not even drawing cards. He just said, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to attack.
Yeah.
That
Let's
was wild.
Yeah, that was good. I'm getting excited now, but I don't know. It might be.
It's all a
But yeah,
tease.
this is gonna be an hour for this next game. It was just a tease. It was just to like reel us in.
It was, though. It was not what we were expecting, right? Because like I did not expect Shawn to basically just dump his whole hand.
Yeah.
Um, and then when you saw the tome, you're like, well, shit, that's
I didn't get
because
a
he got it
chance to
under a
get
counter spell.
get a chance to get my snacks or anything. I'm not even set up here.
And we didn't have to like talk about all those tier 4 cards that I was telling you I wanted to just chat about.
I got some stuff we can talk about.
Yeah, like my unrequited love for Veteran Bodyguard.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. Another strong start for Shawn, though.
No, library on the other side's not too
Jesus.
shabby.
Didn't even see that. I was like, oh, Shawn's like setting up great, and then you're like, oh fuck, that's like literal. Unless so if you're the deck, so if you're Shawn, right, and you're sitting at a library on their opponent's side, you have to force that to be broken, right? Like that has to be his number one priority, or can he just wait to set up? Like I don't.
I mean, there's no. See, the deck. I feel like the deck has less options when it comes to other than the classic strip mine, whatever.
Right.
I mean, how are you gonna? It's not like you can put pressure on, right? Oh, now he draws a factory. It's not like you can put pressure on David. Like, there's no way.
Right.
Like, if you were an aggro list, you can race it a little bit and force the player to get off 7 cards. But I mean, David here has all the time in the world, you know.
And I guess the deck isn't set up to dump its hand to like use balance as a pseudo mind twist either.
No.
So if you're Shawn in this position, like what are you thinking? Like how do you sort of position yourself? Because obviously, you know, you're under incredible card disadvantage looking at it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is probably the worst, other than mind twist for your whole hand. This is really bad for Shawn right now. I'm trying to think of how besides strip mine, what other ways does he have to get rid of this thing? Nothing, right?
There's nothing, right? Chaos Orb, that's it.
Chaos Orb, that's right. Tutor for Chaos Orb, Tutor for strip mine. He can't even cast Tutor right now.
No, he can't.
Actually,
right?
the Felwar Stone's completely shut off.
Right. So if you're David, do you just not play a land?
Other than Mishra's, press the advantage that way. I mean, I guess. I mean, that's something. He didn't have a land drop, so.
Yeah, he's just dropping artifacts.
Continue. I wouldn't be. Again, Dave has all the time in the world, so.
Right.
There's no.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, look at this. All right, we're up to 5. I think whoever took the over on the books and the number of tomes we can cast is probably a winner. I didn't even know it was a best of 5. Those numbers might not be accurate. Go to Vegas.com. Check out the latest over-unders.
You're gonna clean Andy out, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I am gonna. Yeah, this might be. I have to call it my bookie.
So do you think Shawn was just bricking on lands there? He wasn't sandbagging anything, right? Like he was.
No, I don't think there's a reason to.
Okay.
I'm gonna look back at this recording and I'm gonna be like, we had no idea what we were talking about.
Like, so I was thinking when you asked me about this, Andy, I was like, wait, I think I've played the deck like 5 or 6 times in my entire life. Like the only time I've ever played it is when Dave bought like those proxy decks, and he got. You saw the one where he had this shitty new border deck that he built because he's like it's a terrible deck. It's a deck that everyone hates, so I'm gonna make it hideous to look at also. And so I bought one of those for like $20, and so I played that like 5 times or 6 times or something. And I think it's the only time I've ever played the deck.
Oh man, I don't think I've ever. No, that's not true. I must have played the deck like back in the day or some variant of it, but for those of you guys wondering if the match is frozen or there's a poor internet connection, let me assure you that we're up and running, and this is full speed. This is actually 1.5 times speed. We're doing it for the audience, so you won't have to sit through the whole match.
It was just started, 5 p.m. today.
Yeah.
So if you're David, you're just drawing cards here
until you die.
Do you is he just drawing cards and till he gets 7 and then just dropping lands and that's it.
Well, if I was David, I wouldn't. I would. Last game was different. He had 3 factories.
Right.
He only had 1 card in hand. The only thing he's worried about is Swords to Plowshares. Like, he has to press the advantage because he was clearly he didn't have anything. But now he's got like a pretty much a full grip. He's got answers for his factories. David, again, that's his own one of his own few win cons. So he's got to be really careful about saving them, right? So until he can, I mean, I feel like we're almost like just staring at each other until one of us draws the mind twist, and we have a counter war, and then like coast is clear. We'll be discarding abysses and stuff until.
Right. But I think like David he doesn't. Oh, geez, he's just discarding 2.
Oh, this is great. So I'm playing the Neos. I'm playing my first Neos event.
You gonna give Chef a run for his money?
I've never played a Neos event, and Sammy and I brewed this deck. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
his hate deck.
Oh yeah. So we met up together. We fine tuned it, and I gotta tell you, it's so much fun.
This is the thing with like land tax and Blood Moon and
yeah, we cover Rebs. We call it Robin Hood, and as long as I keep playing tier 1 decks, I think I have a good shot at doing really well at this tournament.
So you have a deck that is both good against the deck and like the Lion/Dib/Burn lists.
Yeah, and
lump ATOG in there.
ATOG. Sometimes
ATOG
because
is Blood Moon.
Sometimes,
is that why?
Yeah, it plays 4 Blood Moons. 4 energy fluxes. It's good against
oh Jesus, book number 2.
It's good against workshop decks as well.
Because of the Blood Moon?
With the energy fluxes and the Blood Moon.
You're running main deck energy flux.
We run main deck red elemental blasts. Like, it's insane. Basically, if the opponent plays a swamp, like, we're done. It's over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or like if he plays just a plains, aren't you done also? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty much.
Just sort of like
it's a hedge. Yeah, it's over. But like the look on people's faces. Well, I don't really see their faces, but their reactions have been.
What is that?
Hilarious. Is that an alternate? Play? That looks like a thought.
It's a land, right?
I'm assuming.
I wonder if he's.
What is this? Oh my goodness!
It's 2 mana.
Is that a
DT?
Is that a Cyclopean? It looks like a Cyclopean tomb, alternate art or something. It's 2 mana, maybe. Yeah, I think so.
What is it? I don't know. These altars, man. It must have been a demonic tutor.
Okay, something's happening.
Mind twist?
It's not a brain. Yeah, there's the card.
Yeah, so that's what Shawn. He sandbagged a DT, hit him with the mind twist. Although, like, to be fair, oh god, like what a kick in the dick that is. Like Shawn just like fought through everything and was like resolved his mind twist, which was going to give him some breathing room against the library, and then now that.
Jeez.
He mind twisted for what, 3 or 4?
I think 4.
And David has a sizable amount of cards in hand. It's like, can he just book and be right back at library level?
And pretty much. All right, so we got his twist. So no more mind twist from Dave. And a recall.
Yeah, I mean, I guess recall's something, but even mind twist at this point, like, doesn't really matter, right? Because doesn't David just keep drawing cards? Because if he's going to see 2 to every one of Shawn's 1, he'll just eventually make all his land drops and be able to win every counter.
But the thing is that, like, he needs...
Well, mind twist is gone for Shawn also. Now,
right. So there's no more mind twist this game. But he needs to... Like, his threats are not... Yeah, his threats are so slim, you know? Yeah. So even if he draws cards, if they're a bunch of abysses disenchants or anything, then
this is why I play Savannah Lines, man. And just throw them into the breach and they just die, and it's totally cool.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have any breathing room in terms of like threats. He's got to protect them. And Shawn's got so many answers. He's got like swords, disenchants, all this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a
I mean, does David sort of just say, going to draw cards and just brain geyser you out?
well, they're not. None of them are brain geyser, and they're both in the yard too. So
Wait, they both use.
I
Oh,
see. I think
David.
I see a
Okay,
brain
yeah,
geyser
you're right. I
there.
think I see brain geyser. Well, David still has regrowth though, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. So okay, so he's got that avenue
So
of
he's got the regrowth.
it's deep. It's deep.
Because Shawn, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's actually not as boring as I thought it was going to be. But Christ, I
Um,
mean, David's drawing them what, 2 or 3 to 1? 3 to 1, right?
so it's a oh that DFB says it's a city of brass. That card that we were wondering about.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was a
This is some
land.
sort of altar or something.
It's pretty sick looking altar then.
I can't. I look kind of looks like a Thoughtseize from here. I don't know. My screen's really small.
Thoughtseize, Andy, come on.
I don't know.
Are
I'm
you playing
sorry. I'm
Legacy on
sorry,
me now?
guys. I'm sorry. It's new card. It's in development.
I mean, I did a deep dive the last month on new cards when I added stuff to the Type 4 stack, which I guess is how you're getting is how you're becoming a sister, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna Rochester draft Type 4 stack and try and beat me.
maybe. Well, I mean, you still have to beat
I better
Paul.
beat Paul. Yeah, I actually need a
Let's not
deck for
count our
that.
chickens. You know.
That's true. I watched him
I
beat
cannot.
Blake.
But for those guys at home here trying to figure out what we're talking about,
Just bullshit.
this this is random stuff. But Sisters of the Flame, in order to become a true Sisters of the Flame, we've kind of developed. Well, Paul, this is all Paul's brainchild, right? I think. I don't know. I don't know if you
Yeah,
had anything to do about it, but
we were talking about it, but it's I mean it's everything's Paul's. I just
we've
am along for
yeah
the ride.
he's developed a kind of vampiric bloodline process in which you have to was starting with Paul. You have to beat him and he chooses his opponents. Like there's a lot of oh, here's the swords. Okay, so that's gonna get rid of one of his mishras. So we finally decide to attack.
Well, he attacked last turn when he was tapped out, which I mean that's great. It's just like a free,
Okay, yeah,
four
that's
damage.
all right. Here the stack is up to 2, 3. Storm count.
Storm count.
Storm count.
Fluster storm.
Oh my god. 3.
It's just.
Okay, we're
I
up
mean,
to
I think
3.
at some point, like you're just like you're okay with one getting sorted, right?
I don't think he's
Because
ever
that's
okay with
two.
any swords resolving. But I mean, I guess you have to one Avenger. That's only one, right? I don't.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only one. Okay, so you
He
still got
cast
3
two
more.
swords, but only got one to kill it.
Well, he's at 13. Dave's at 21. So
What is going on? And since I can't see David's hand, I'm assuming he has, just 7 cards in hand.
I don't think that was it. I think he spent a couple cards there on that exchange. So he might be around, and then he cast some spells
But he's got to
too.
he's got to be close to 7 though. If he
He's got to be.
because otherwise he wouldn't throw out a chaos orb right there, right? Like you just hold that in your hand because there's no
Yeah,
advantage
that's
like
true.
just
I
casting
can't
that
even
orb.
see the library. There's so many lands. It's buried down deep in there.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a recall. Okay, so that's
Recall
gonna go
for
for the swords to
1.
plowshares, I guess. You gotta.
Is it or DT?
What are you gonna get? DT. Mine was already in the yard.
Strip mine.
Strip mine. Oh
Or
yeah,
I guess
that's
maybe
not
strip mine
counter.
doesn't matter with
Yeah, but
double books.
but swords. Oh yeah, I guess you can't counter it.
DT. I guess you can also just get ancestral, right? Like DT just lets you get stuff.
Yeah. Mana drain. Wait, what's going on? Oh, he recalled for the DT and then mana
Yeah,
drained.
and then he
He
cast
mana drained the okay.
DT. He's gonna do to get back in that. But it was still like, fuck, man, that was an impressive fight.
All right. Well, it looks like we're starting to run out of room here in terms of permanence on David's side. Oh my god.
It was like the one match that Jeff played where he like basically decked himself and it was just like there was no way you could keep track of anything that was on the board. You're just like, fuck it, yeah, just tell me what you got. I have to believe you because there's no way I can count the 40 permanents that are in play.
Be like, I'll counterspell that. I don't see any blue. No, it's there.
It's there.
It's there somewhere.
Just trust me.
Just
And
trust
you
me.
just be like, okay, you seem like a reasonable, honest man.
Yeah. Is it over yet? Is it over?
Is she dead?
We should have came back from the technical problems. Said, all right, well, let's start game 3. That would have been great.
Look at like, I mean, this was just.
All right, this was a.
I guess this is the textbook example why library is just fucking broken.
Yeah,
Although
that's
the
pretty
flip
bad.
side is when a deck player uses the library and another deck player, it's kind of like an angel gets its wings because he just punished that person for playing the deck.
Yeah, I mean, I have no comment. I have no comment on library. It's pretty bad. But
Well,
actually, recently I've been doing well against first turn libraries.
Yeah, so I was actually talking to someone.
Oh my god. Yeah, you broke up there. I don't know.
I'm back.
Okay, now you're back. You sounded like some sort of alien. But what did you say? You were
Sorry.
playing. You playing?
I've been like moving library pretty much to my sideboard for most of my decks these days.
Okay.
Because I play. I mean, let's be honest. I play super aggressive stuff, so I don't want to sit and durdle.
Right. Is library like? I guess not in your 60 to start off with, considering you're playing such an aggressive build.
Usually not. I mean, I like. I mean, I really just won it against the deck. I stand by I've actually beaten library so in Spike Fest and Summer Derby. I don't think I ever lost to a library.
Yeah.
And I never strip mined one. Like I literally just would just like they'd play a library, I'd cast a dib, and I'd throw like 3 lightning bolts at them, and they'd still be trying to draw cards, and I'm like, all right, just take 4 this turn. That's fine. I don't really care. I just think people don't know when to break it is the problem, and so they're so focused on drawing cards every turn, and they don't realize that when it comes at like a cost of your own development, when you're playing against a hyper aggressive strategy, right? Especially something that can throw like 2 psionic blasts at you in a turn.
Mm-hmm.
You basically like when your life total hits 10, you have to consider yourself to be dead. So yeah, I think library is like it's whatever. Like it's a broken card, but Mind Twist is far more egregious. I think. At least Mind Twist ends games quickly, though.
I mean, yeah, I've heard arguments for. I mean, we hear library, we hear Mind Twist, Ancestral, even Soul Rings sometimes put up there as like pretty broken because.
Hold on a second, Andy.
Yeah, because it's just so powerful and gets you up on mana quickly, but it's gonna age old debate.
Yeah, I mean, Soul Ring.
I don't really see it. Other than the fact that like it's an auto include and it kind of makes your deck 59 cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, right? Like Soul Ring is really bananas if you do cubing or
it's like
other formats like that. It's like it's better than Moxen.
Right.
But in old school, I mean, Soul Ring's great. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't think I've ever like thought that Soul Ring. I mean, I actually think that like outside of the factories tapping to pump themselves and dealing combat damage, I don't really have much issue with EC, Pacific, like Atlantic, Swedish rules. They're all about. I mean, Swedish is kind of dumb because Fallen Empires is good, so fuck them.
Right.
I mean, I think you like Fallen Empires too, right, Andy?
I love Fallen Empires. It's great. Yeah. I wish they would have pushed the power a little bit on Thalids and Thralls. I mean,
and the Thralls.
Thrall champions just not. Oh my god! It should cost probably like 3 instead of 5.
Yes. Or like just make it 4, like because then it's at least like, I mean. But it is. I think Fallen Empire is a great set. But no, I think like the format's in really good shape. Like I think it's whatever. Mind Twist is whatever.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about like Gentleman's is just better because it just lets me. I don't have to play Mind Twist. I can just play something else that's cooler.
It frees it up.
Yeah, it's just more spots to use like more fun cards.
All right, so I got a list here. I knew you were coming on, so I made a list of the top 2/1 creatures in old school that
Oh,
are
2/1,
that
not
are that
regardless
are
of mana.
that are not Savannah lines.
Love it.
So, well, they're
Do you want
not
to hear my
many.
list of what they are? Do
What?
you want to hear my list of what they are, like in order, in rank order?
Oh, do you want to do it? Okay, all right.
Do you want
So,
me to, you want me to see how my list matches up with yours?
okay, do you have a list? Do you know all of them?
I mean, I
Bonus
probably know
points.
most of them because I mean, most of you because like they're basically the two drops, right?
Well, not really. I mean, you got to dig deep. I'm going to tell everybody. There's 12 old
There's
school
12 two
2/1
ones.
creatures.
Good lord.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because
There's
like
more than I thought. There's a couple
Gaia's
that
Avenger's not a 2/1, right?
no.
No. Whew.
Um,
I actually
in
want to hear
case
this thing because
Paul, you missed everything. We're on game 7.
Game
He just logged
7
into
of
the
9.
chat. Um, but yeah, so there's a
Oh
couple.
Jesus! Do you see that?
What happened?
So Shawn
Oh,
opened up with the library and the
classic,
play, and David
classic,
had to strip mine.
classic. You couldn't have written it up any better. Like this is
Yeah, I mean,
this is
hey,
great
sometimes
stuff.
like variance is on your side, right? Like
Done.
David has
Go.
just had the answers, and Shawn has just sequenced things properly, and
Shawn
sometimes
is
it just,
cursing Dave out right now.
you know, like what do you like in this situation? What can you do?
I mean, he's. Oh, I don't know.
I mean, we've all been on the receiving end, right? Like
All right, so here's
we've
the
all
question.
been where Shawn is.
Yeah. So what do you think he's tutoring for? He's got to be ancestral.
It's ancestral,
Yeah, it's
right?
ancestral.
Unless he has like a Lotus and he's just Mind Twist. Like I think there is a world where he goes Mind Twist.
But he has no moxes.
Right, like he might be, you know, sitting on the jewelry, which would make the Mind Twist better.
Yeah. Oh, now he has his own library. This is.
I wonder if he just tutored for library.
Really? Okay.
I mean, we saw what it did last game. It's actually not. If he was close to 7 cards, because I can't see how many cards he had in his hand, so it's hard to keep track of that. But I guess if he's not worried, like he wasn't worried about from like a mana.
There's
advantage.
a power sync. Timely power sync for the on the time walk.
Is nice. He doesn't want to give Shawn
What's
any
the score?
advantages.
The score is David's up 2-0.
And it's not looking very good for Shawn right now. Because Shawn, yeah, I bet you David went DT for the library.
They're playing best of 5. For those of you who are just coming from the Pez match and are
You didn't get enough
joining
of
us
the
on
deck
chat.
in the Pez match, so you want to watch this.
You want to watch this sorry excuse for a stream. This is not like, and it's like it stopped recording too, so like I don't have like I recorded it too, but there's a lot that's missed. That whole sequence that you were talking about, nobody saw it. only it was the most amazing sequence ever, and the only person who saw it are the 2 players and you, because I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
And I was just,
but it was amazing. Just trust Seth and saying it was
so I guess
really good.
Shawn is trying to
Copy his Soul Ring.
Yes, I guess he just is trying to get mana advantage.
Yeah, he hasn't played a land.
Because he does have some, like again, like I mean, we saw in last game where he was able to sort of get out of the library, right? So if he can do it fast enough, where he's not too far behind, there are ways. So like I guess if you just generate a boatload of mana, for one, it's clearing cards out of your hands, but like I think he still has to be like a balanced Mind Twist, right? Like, oh Jesus.
Oh,
that's a kick in the dick.
Bad. That's bad. Oh.
So
he didn't get everything. He didn't get everything.
One.
He keeps one. Divine Offering.
Oh.
There's a book. Oh, 2 books.
Geez,
wow.
That's all gassed. I mean, what I think, like at that point though, Shawn had to tap down there and try and get something going.
Yeah.
You know, it just sometimes you just have bad options sometimes, and this is Shawn just had all bad options there.
If I'm Shawn, I'm like, well, I have a Mishra's, so I can win.
I can win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he could have done much else.
Should
The
I?
sequence.
I'm like hesitant to like fix anything on this. I know there's green bars on the side here. This is not like the greatest picture setup here, but I'm like hesitant to fix any of this. I would hate for it to crash again.
So this is a semifinal match, correct?
This is a semi. This is top 6, top 8.
Top 6. Now we're doing top 6, Andy.
No. This is a top 8 match.
It
reset? It reset. I'm telling you, it reset. This is the worst. I changed all this. If you're just joining, that top 16 used to be top 8, but I'm not gonna change it because I don't want this thing to crash.
It's a semifinals match, correct?
Right. No,
like
wait.
The winner of this goes to the finals.
No, I thought it was a quarterfinals.
Oh, is this quarterfinals?
Yeah, quarterfinals.
Well, I thought David said it was the semis.
Oh, this is actually a top. Okay, we got DFP said it's top 4 match.
That's what I said. It was the semis.
Okay,
So the winner of this goes to the finals.
Good to know that we have our stuff together here.
I thought I was right. You're just, clearly.
I'm not. Clearly, I'm not even
down.
playing. I don't even know what tournament this is anymore. It's not even summer anymore. It's like fall. This thing is taking so long. Oh my god.
Man. I mean, I will say this: like, if I told you before this stream that the best 3 out of 5 deck mirror was going to be done in under an hour, you would never have believed
like nobody would have guessed. I should have taken that bet. Like time.
Clean up.
Over
That's
under
like
an
picking.
hour. That's crazy.
It's like picking the Baltimore Orioles to win the World Series.
Oh my god. All right, so you guys have had a chance to look up these 2 ones. I'm going to give you the list. Oh wait, something's happening. He's attacking. What is this line? He's at 12. It could be over in like.
Yeah, I mean that's
could
the
be over
fun
in like
thing.
3 turns. No, there's no way. He said. Why did he tap out? He tried to play a book.
He tried to play a book. He played a book, and then David maybe drew with the book, and then David disenchanted. I can't remember the sequence.
The Druid is not a 2-1. Somebody say, I don't even know how to pronounce it. A Kunimon Druid is not a 2-1. All right, so this is what I found.
All right.
Elvish Archer.
Yep.
Pump Knights, which I'm grouping under the same thing, right?
Okay.
Dwarven Soldier, which I think somebody mentioned.
The red guy from Fallen Empires.
Argothian Pixies. This is all quality. Then it starts you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. So you got River Merfolk, which is a favorite of mine back when...
They're 2-1.
River Merfolk are 2-1, yeah.
All right. They're a decent creature. They're not
I
terrible.
used to love that card when it first came out. I thought it was awesome. And then, okay, now we're getting into tier 4 stuff and below. We got the Ragman.
He's a 2-1.
Yeah, he's a 2-1.
All right.
Hornet Cobra, somebody mentioned. Good job.
First strike.
First strike. That's that. Yeah, but it costs 3 though. It's like, why would you? It's like,
why would you just use archers?
Yeah, archers are better in every way. All right, there's another. Is that another attack? No, he just made a discard. Wall of Caltrops.
Oh, that doesn't count. It's a wall.
It's got a. I've used it in a deck. I played a tournament with Wall of Caltrops. Lost Soul.
It's good. Yep. Swamp Walk is a good thing.
Cyclopean Mummy.
2-1 for 2. And he's removed from the game if he dies.
Yeah, he's horrible. And bringing up the rear is Homarid Shaman.
The fuck is that? What's that card? Is that from Fallen Empires?
Oh my god! Yeah, it is from Fallen Empires. It's the Homarid that has the icy manipulator in his hand. You know, with the picture. It has a little fun fact for everybody listening.
I have no idea what this card is.
Look, this is
like an
classic.
Ice Age icy or like a original icy?
No, it's like an original icy. Sure. It's got original icy in the picture. I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, I'm sure.
But it's an Amy Weber art.
Have you looked
he's
it
holding
up?
A staff. He's holding a staff
the
right
icy?
now. No, the icy's just a ball. It's a ball.
I thought it was an icy. But it makes sense with his ability. What's his ability? Homarid.
He taps a green creature. As many as you want for 1 blue.
I think the icy's on the staff. That's what I'm going with, people. Because it's got flavor text. It's got flavor.
Pretty sure ice manipulator is just a hand, though, right? It's just a hand
I think
holding a
you're
ball.
right. I think you're right. Yeah, but the more I talk about it, the more unsure you become of yourself.
That is true. I mean, I always doubt myself. Yeah, it's just a hand holding a ball and like lightning in the background. It's still a cool card, though.
So that's the list of 2-1s in old school, except for Savannah Line. So
except for Savannah Line. I mean, some of those are actually like quality cards.
Yeah, some of them are not bad. I mean, Pump Nights are tier 1, right? Tier 1.5.
Maybe tier 2.
Tier 1.5. I take that back.
They require double of a color, right? And it always is like you can't cast them off of Mox.
Yeah. Elvish Archer wants to be good, but it's not. All right, we got a disenchant. We got he's got the elbow on the table now, folks. This is really settling in. This is the sign of a defeated man.
At this point. I mean, I give Shawn all the credit in the world. He has not scooped. I am not sure what out he has in this situation.
This is top 4.
He
can't scoop.
Scooped. Like I
cannot scoop. Oh, strip mine. Oh, counter spells.
But it's too little, too late.
Yeah,
it doesn't
strip
matter.
out of library. Damn library. Well, that was fast. I had all this stuff prepped. I spent too much time on prepping everything else to do. I didn't prep the technical aspects. We had the outage there in the middle of the match.
I mean, we didn't get a chance to talk about these 2-1s because I actually love to talk about why Elvish Archers isn't good because like it should be. Like everybody always says green's terrible, but then like green isn't terrible.
Yeah.
Like there's all these green cards that feel good.
It's not great. Maybe it's good. It's
like
good minus.
Like script sprites are like a reasonable creature, and like why is Giant Growth like? Great. Why is Giant Growth not played more?
Why isn't Healing Salve not played more?
Well, that's terrible. But
it's not terrible. Like it's terrible until somebody plays with it, and like you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I guess the difference is like Giant Growth is like this great thing. It's like because it's basically like a bolt if you have a dude, but it also saves your dudes from bolts.
Right.
And in a format where like Lightning Bolt can challenge Swords of Plowshares is the best removal.
Well, Healing Salve saves you from Lightning Bolt.
Right, but it doesn't do a Lightning Bolt to their face when you attack with your script sprites. That's why.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, come on. And you've been in a situation where you've gone to attack with like a script sprite or flying man and your opponent bolts it and you say, oh, Giant Growth in response. That really sucks.
Giant Growth in response. That's the worst. Oh my
I've done it. It feels real bad.
All right, let me see if we can talk to these guys. I don't even know if we talked to. Let me see if I unmute these guys here. Hold on a second.
Are they going to talk to us at the end?
Yeah. Hello. Can you guys hold on? Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Hey, kids.
They've unmuted themselves. Hey.
Hey.
That was fast.
Seth, you can.
Well, I know it's late for you guys. I didn't want to keep you guys up on.
Shawn, we were commenting that like you so if you guys watch the stream, for one, that great sequence you did where you managed to break the library game 2, Andy missed the entire thing.
It was horrible. It was oh my god.
The one where I balanced it off to no cards?
Yeah, exactly.
That was like the best play.
Shawn, I'm so sorry.
I was like, you missed this great sequence. It just like, I mean, I think your match shows of why like Variant is a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, you just were on the wrong side of Variance across every aspect of that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the deck. These decks are full of powerful cards, and it's just a question of who's going to get them. And there were things I could have done differently, like game 1, my opening hand
was
like
great. Yeah.
Tundra, Mox, Lotus, Jet, and Swords, and I'd already mulled one, so I'm not going to mull that again.
Right.
So I fired off the early book, which seemed like a reasonable play. But then I top deck Mind Twist the next card. So like
that's what we thought.
It's questionable to like spend the Lotus to rush the book out there. And if I had not done that, obviously it would have been a different game.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't put yourself drawing the Mind Twist.
That happens. He was able. I think he had Natural Library turn game 2, and then game 3 he was able to tutor for the library. I assume that's what he tutored for.
Yeah. You were clearly mana screwed. So I was like, hey, he's probably got like a bunch of disenchants and stuff. And he's got 1 blue mana up, so it's like now's the chance to get the library.
Yeah, that hand was Tundra, Library, counter, mana drain, and maybe maybe a recall or a swords or something like that. But like, yeah, that was I was banking on the library there. You had the strip, so that took care of it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great.
That was wild. Because like when David went for the DT in that game, we were like, Andy and I both like, oh, he gets ancestral, and he just drops library. We're like, oh shit, we were wrong.
Seems better. Yeah, I mean that was clearly the right play. I think it ended up working out, obviously. And then game 2, my opener was Volcanic, Emerald, Felwar, and then I had DT, Mind Twist, and I don't remember, maybe Disenchant and something else.
Right.
But like that game was the game he had natural turn 1 library, and then he was smart. He like played a factory after that. He kept me off of that Felwar basically as long as he could until it was beyond the point where I could even use the DT. I DT'd, it got countered. That was to set up. I ended up mind twisting him after that. That was a little bit to make that happen. But like what I really wanted to be able to do was DT for strip mine and take care of that library, but I couldn't.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say the games were actually. Thank you both for playing quickly. That was nice, but they were far more exciting than I thought.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
There's some really back and forth, some real haymakers there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Dave.
Good games. I can't believe you guys got through 3 mirror matches in under an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beatdown. That was an epic beatdown. So
yeah, it was one-way traffic. I mean, yeah, it was just I had the perfect game 2. I would have basically lost with more or less any other hand. Like, you know, library, I'm all to 6. I don't have much. I just was like, hey, I have to tuck a land. I tuck the City of Brass instead of strip mine, and there you go.
Yeah.
Wild.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wild. That's
all right, guys.
Crazy. I mean, it makes you both feel better. Jeff and versus Lion Ibitog.
Mm-hmm.
And they were done in 20 minutes, and Pez said it was more time shuffling than actual gameplay.
Wow.
Sorry, it cut out for a second. Who won in their match?
Pez won.
Pez won. Okay, cool.
2. Yeah.
So is this now that are we set for the finals?
Friday night, people got places to go, people to see. Maybe not the Kona time, but.
Are we?
I'm here at my folks' house in Jersey, so there's literally nothing to do in the suburbs of Jersey.
Are we set for the finals now?
But good games, guys. They were interesting, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I thought David played really well. I was, I don't know what cards he had in his hand the whole time, but I didn't see a mistake at all.
Yeah.
So very, very tight play.
And unfortunately, Shawn, your great sequence is just lost